Hi guys, so it's Charles here with Charles Harrison Music again. I'm going to play today's lick straight away, and if that's all you're here for, then you can download it from the description box below, the tab, and get to work. If you're interested with how I formed today's lick, then stick around afterwards and I'll explain the cells that I used to form this lick. So without any further ado, let's hear the lick. Okay, so that's our sound. Now, the last lick I did, video number 1, that was just completely in the style of Holdsworth, but nothing specific. Whereas today's lick is inspired by a run from Devil Take the Hindmost. Although I've come up with my own lick, which is something I suggest you do, all of the cells have been taken from directly from a Holdsworth transcription. So let me talk you through the units. It's not very many, and what I'm doing with them to create that slightly Holdsworthy sound. So first of all, this is in the key of either E minor or G major. I actually formed this in G major, but I think I prefer it in a minor context. This first cell here, which is the first 3 notes of the minor scale, and those 3 notes, that shape, we just literally slide it down 1 fret. Just gets slid down a semitone. Now, it would be tempting to do this diatonically, something like that, but that wouldn't be a very Holdsworth way of doing it. So we get this F natural, which is very un-E minor, or very un-G major. So that'll be an extreme example of what I'm talking about there, just taking that shape and sliding it around the guitar. Next thing is just what we did use in our last lick, which is this next door chromatic notes. He uses this quite a lot. I've seen this in loads of lines. So that's the next part of the phrase, that's the next cell. So cell 1, cell 2, and actually something that I've come up with myself through tackling his lines, which I've found really helpful. I've not yet been able to find any video evidence of Allan doing this. If you've seen this, let me know. But it's this where, you know, you would normally go straight from the first finger to the middle finger. Well, if you go from the first finger to the ring finger instead, it puts you down a position on the next string, which is quite useful. So that's how I'm getting through these first 2 cells. Ring finger there. Then the next cell is this augmented second shape. So if we're in G major here, we're getting the flat 3rd and the major 3rd. If we're in E minor, we're getting the flat 5 and the 5th. Now, he uses this shape a lot as well. I'm not very well warmed up today, guys, apologies. Then we're on to the top string. First 3 notes of the major scale. So our first cell was the first 3 notes of the minor scale. Now we're doing the first 3 of the major scale. And guess what? We're going to slide those down a fret as well. So we're going actually through the melodic minor here, but we're ascending through the natural minor and then descending through the melodic minor. So cell 1, first 3 notes of the minor scale down a semitone, then chromatic cell up and down, slide to this augmented second cell, then the major scale cell, okay, so all together. The final little thing there is just a string skip, because I realised I'd been very linear in my approach so far. Just skipping a string is a very intervallic Holdsworth Tim Miller sound. So I've just shoved it in actually just for the sake of it at the end there. Okay, so that's how I formed this line. Hopefully you found that vaguely interesting, but you'll notice that the cells are all things that you recognise. So if you do listen to Holdsworth, and I'm still the same now, having studied quite a lot of his music by this point, I'll listen to it and I'll just be like, what the hell is he playing? Where's he getting this stuff from? When I actually break it down and analyse it, I go, oh, that's the major scale, that's the minor scale. And actually, if anyone's seen his REH video where he goes through the most commonly used scales of his, he very rarely actually uses some of those weirder ones. It is just major scales and minor scale stuff. Bit of diminished every now and then, but in terms of 3 or 4 note cells, these are all things that you will recognise, okay? So I'd strongly recommend you do what is my current project, which is sort of reverse engineer the sounds to extract his musical chunks and rearrange them into your own lines. So the line that I took this from Devil Take the Hindmost is this. Something along those lines, really fiendishly difficult. But all of the cells we've used in today's lick come from that line. So hopefully you found that useful, guys. Please do like, share, subscribe, all that stuff really helps me out. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, where I think I'm actually going to talk about the axe. I had quite a few questions about the axe, so I think it's about time I finally talk you through it. So I look forward to seeing you in that one. Take care, hope you enjoyed today's line and you get lots of use from it. Cheers, bye.